Okay, everyone. Sorry, apparently my other video did not have the audio for the full amount, so I'm going to go ahead and redo this one, and hopefully this works a lot better. Um, we're doing 921 day 2. You should have done your 921 CNR already, and we are now watching the video. After we're done here, you will need to do the homework, which is problems 57 and 62, or you can again do the worksheet. It's your choice. You have both options available to you. If you do have your handouts from yesterday, that would be cool, and if you have a calculator, that would be helpful as well. Now, some of you may be freaking out if you didn't do the activity yesterday. It definitely was powerful to do, and it would have been a lot more effective if you had it. If you didn't, though, I do have some summary information here today that will kind of help with that, okay? So let's get started here today. First thing we want to summarize is one of the things we came up with yesterday, and it's this. If you have 3 side lengths, if you know that for example, a triangle is a side lengths are 3, 4, and 6, will that make a triangle? That's one of the key questions. And here was the conclusion we came to. If the sum of the 2 smaller sides is less than the longer side, then it will not. If the sum of the 2 smaller sides is greater than, it will. Okay, so for example, 3, 4, 6. Well, one side would be 6, one side would be 3, the other side would be 4, maybe more like that. That would work. Okay, this side 3, this side 4, this side 6, and that would be an obtuse triangle. But if I had like a 3, 4, 10, well, this is 10 down here. The 3 would only come like right here. The 4 would come like over here. It would never meet. So if the sum of these 2 smaller sides is not bigger than this number, then it's not going to work. Okay. Even if I had something like a 4, well, that's not. That's a summary. I'm not going to keep going because that might give something away for later. Okay. So I'm going to pause right there. All right. So that's a summary from yesterday. Now you need to make sure. Oh, I just erased myself. Maybe, I guess. Okay. You need to make sure that you have this information down. That could mean that you need to pause the video and write it down. If that's the case, do it. Okay. All right. Now, let's move on. This is what we're going to answer today. Side lengths and triangles, day 2. Look at the data you collected for acute, obtuse, and right triangles. What patterns do you see between the sum of the areas of the 2 smaller squares and the area of the larger square that form the triangle in each row? Now, here's a key thing. It does say the sum of the areas. The previous thing was the side lengths, just this lengths. This is talking about the area of the 2 smaller squares and the area of the larger square. Okay, and we're going to answer these 3 questions basically. If 3 squares have sides that make an acute triangle, then the sum of the areas of the 2 small squares. If the 3 squares have sides that make an obtuse triangle, then the sum of the areas of the 2 smaller squares. And if they make a right triangle, what's true? And all of them are say the same thing. It's the key thing is the sum of the area of the 2 smaller squares. Okay, so we'll come back to the slide here and we'll talk about it. Let's look at the data from yesterday. Here is the data we had from yesterday. Now, the key thing I want you to focus on is here is the sum of the area of the small and medium. Here's the large. And as you notice, I highlighted like here, these are the right triangles. Okay, these are the obtuse triangles here. Obtuse. And then the acute are the non-shaded. So try to see if you can find some patterns. And what I want to do is I want you to pause the video in just a minute here and try to see if you can find some patterns that would answer these questions. And look at again, the questions are what happens with the sum of the area of the 2 smaller sides to make an acute or an obtuse or a right. So we really want to focus on this area here. Okay, this area from like here. All right. So pause the video and see if you can come up with some conclusions. Got it? Go. Okay. Hopefully you paused it. Did you? Come on. Make sure that you paused it and tried it out, okay? It really is important that you see this and not just depend on me. Now, if you were kind of confused as to, hey, what were the questions to begin with, here's what I do want you to do. I really need you to pause the video now, and I do need you to write these 3 statements down here. You are going to fill them out or answer them right now. So if you would please go ahead and write those statements and then be ready to fill them out. Okay, by now you should have paused, you should have had no written, and hopefully you saw some connections. So let's focus on, it says acute triangles. Let's try those first, okay? So let's look at the acute triangles, like this one right here, and this one, and this one. What do you notice about the sum of the small triangles, or squares, and the total? Well, if you look carefully, do you see it? The sum of the two smaller, or the area of the two smaller sides, is greater than the area of the square of the larger side. Okay, and that is what we're going to write down. Check it out. Ready? Okay, the sum of the areas of the two smaller squares is more than the area of the larger square. Okay, is more than the area of the large square. Now, what about obtuse? Well, let's go to our slide here. Obtuse triangles. Obtuse, 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 obtuse. And as you notice, they are always what? The sum of the two smaller sides is always less than the area of the larger one. So let's look at that. See? Is less than the area of the larger square. And last one, what about a right triangle? A right triangle. Well, right triangle, here's one in the yellow. Yellow, yellow. They are all equal. Equal. So, go back here. Now, this, guys, this is the key focus of this lesson here. So please write that down. If you need to, again, pause the video, write these three down. These will definitely be something that you need to know, maybe even by tomorrow for the quiz. So make sure you have it. Tomorrow is an open book quiz, an open notes quiz. But as always, your Chromebook is going to lock and you're not allowed to go to other sites during the time. So when you start the quiz, you are on. And if you get out, it lets me know. It tells me the time you get out at and what time you get back in at. So and you're going to have to be accountable for that. So please make sure you do not get out once you start the quiz, but you are allowed to use your notes. So please make sure you have this written down. Do you? Good, because we're about to use it like right now. Okay, and I'm not going back to the slide again. So again, if you need to pause it so you can write it down. And here we go. Oh, by the way, I do want to clarify here. So where it says like an acute, the area of the two smaller squares has to be larger than the larger side. What on earth does that mean? So again, if I have a 3, 4, 5 triangle, this is a big thing I want you to notice. Okay, so I got a 3, a 4, and a 5. They're saying here, to figure out if it's acute, obtuse, or right, that you turn this into a square. The area of this square, if its sides are 3, the area of the square would be 9. If the sides of this one are 4, this area would be 16. If the sides of this one are 5, the area would then be, well, you got it, 25, right? So the sum of these two smaller sides, 9 plus 16, and 25, actually technically I don't know if it's equal, so just 25. What's true about them? Oh, well, 16 plus 5 is 25. These two are equal. That means they are a right, this is a right triangle. So that's what it's talking about. It's talking about the area, okay? Once I determine if it's a triangle or not, then I look at the area of the sides to figure out what type of triangle it is, okay? All right, let's practice it. So here we go. Use the patterns you found to predict whether each set of links below will form a triangle. So decide if it's a triangle. If it does, then state whether it's an acute, obtuse, or right triangle. We're going to do the first one together. And it does say to justify your conclusion. So you need some evidence. You need some work here. Here is the work I'm going to show. Well, if I've got a 5, 6, 7 triangle, first of all, do the areas or do the side lengths of the two smaller add up to the one I'm looking for? 5 plus 6 is 11. 11 is more than 7. So yes, this is a triangle. So now 5 squared would be 25. 6 squared would be 36. And 7 squared is 49. Oh, 25 plus 36 would be 50, 61. And 61 is greater than 49. So it is a triangle. And since the area of the two smaller sides is greater than the area of the larger side, this is an acute triangle. Okay, so your task right now, now that we've done this, please go ahead and pause the video here in just a second and tell me and show some work what type of triangle it is. Okay, so pause it, and when you're done, unpause it, and we'll check it. Okay, and I'm going to rewrite this here so you can see a little better how I want you to show your work. Well, if I can write it clearly. I'll try that one more time here. 25 plus 36 is greater than 49, so it is acute. Okay. All right, so are you done? Let's look at number 2. 2, 11, and 15. Whoa, wait a minute. 2 and 11. 2 plus 11 is 13. That's less than 15. This is not a triangle. Did you catch it? Hopefully you did. How about 10, 15, and 20? Oh, 10 and 15 definitely add up to more than 20, so that is a triangle. 10 squared. Ooh, 10 squared is 100. Plus 15, 15 squared is 225, and 20 squared is 400. And if you don't know those numbers, get a calculator, try it. 100 plus 225 is 325. That's less than 400, so this is an obtuse triangle. Obtuse triangle. Okay? All right, if you haven't, please go ahead and finish off the last 3. Got it? And when you're done, unpause it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, let's see what you got, and let's see if it works, okay? So, 10 squared, again, is 100. And 24 squared. 24 squared is 576. And 26 squared is 676. Well, 100 plus 576. Oh, that's 676. These are equal. That means this is a right triangle. Cool. All right. Letter E, 1, 3, and 9. Well, 1 plus 3 is 4. That's not a triangle again because it's less than 9. Last but not least, 2, 10, and 11. 2 squared is 4. 10 squared is 100. And 11 squared is 121. Oh, that is less than 121. So therefore it's less than. It is obtuse. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is today's lesson, hopefully for the second time. Hopefully this one works a little better. Thank you for your patience. Please make sure that you check this work and copy it because, guys, I'm not doing a video with you tomorrow because we're going to be doing the quiz. So good luck. Again, you may use your notes, but do your best on it. All right, have a great day and have a great weekend, actually. Bye.